too. Screws of the helmet are nice because you're given such a small, you know, it's like golfers, they try and look at like a little speck on the ball. You're trying to narrow your vision as much as possible. So stance, alignment, your keys, you got man key and you got pressure key. Now if I'm a defensive end and Manny was a tackle and there's no tight end, I don't have a pressure key. So I just have a man key. So you don't always have a pressure key, but on your inside guys do.
So our 6 techs coach, if we teach, because I was teaching our guys to have their inside foot up, but based on your rules,
you have them standing up.
Yeah, and a 2-point.
So that's different if it's stand up.
Okay. Yeah, both I have both of them in the 2.
Yeah, well, Justin and I went back and forth. I tried to teach this, but it wasn't as effective for whatever reason. I think it's the timing of the steps.
Right.
So if you go this way, they're already in a better position because they're up here, you know. And if I were you, I wouldn't let guys right off the bat play this. I would make them get in a stance first, because if you just start off like this, you can get create a lot of bad habits. Coach Smith?
I get pumped up, man. When I saw that backward hat, man, I got fired up, man.
So we were just talking, he asked about 2-point and about, like, you know, if we're in a 3-point shade technique, it's same hand, same foot. But then when you go to a 2-point, most of the time we end up with our inside foot up. So big thing is like not that first step, you know, playing the run and they get too far upfield on the first step and then they're caught like this and a guy gets up under them. So pad level is going to be your first issue when a guy's in a 2-point.
And when he's in a 2-point, what's your alignment? Are you still doing eye to eye?
I always, well, if it's a 6 tech, we let him get a little bit wider, so he was like shoulder pad to shoulder pad.
Okay.
But then again, like if Manny stepped at me, I got to get that second foot in the ground as quick as I can. So it's almost, your footwork changes a little bit, but usually you have a more athletic kid right here that can figure that part out than most of your inside guys. So whether he's in a 2 or he's in a 3, that first step, our power step, is most important. Too long of a step and you're in a bad position right now to play the run or to play anything, and too short of a step, we're not getting ourselves anywhere. So ultimately my goal is to get off the ball and get my hands on my man key as quick as possible, and I want to knock him back. That's my thought process. I want to knock him back, and then reps, and drills. That you feel if it's not a base block and you're transitioning in to whatever the blocking scheme is that you're getting. So always start with just a base block. So just take like a half-speed step at me. If I was in, I'm not going to get all the way down, but if I was in a 3-point, it's here, and now this foot becomes the foot that I'm guiding myself with. That power foot is in the ground, and I'm trying to keep myself with a good base. Ideally, I'm able to get elbows in tight, my hands up above my eyes right here, and then I can push off of this foot to play the run and keep my eyes pinned into my back. But that part right there is where most kids, and so your aiming point then is inside chest plate or the inside number, and then the shoulder pad with this one. You teach that, but very rarely are you going to get that perfect hand placement. But you keep striving for it with the knowledge that you're not going to get it, but you're still getting hands inside. So their first tendency is to have their hands like this. You got to get them to get their thumbs up. Play with their hands above their eyes. Hands above their eyes, and that power foot and lead foot. So by the time my power foot gets into the ground, I'm going to know eventually what I'm getting. So if Manny were at this time, instead of stepping right at me, he stepped down, I can be right off his ass and in a position to stay in my gap. If I got something where he was reaching, I'm going to switch this foot to my upfield foot, but I was able to do it because my feet were here and not here. If I was like this, I would have been never able to get there. And since my hands were in tight, like I could use him. We talk about a steering wheel with my hands, and so I can pin this shoulder back and pull with my inside hand and still see over the top of them. Plus, if you get an offensive lineman into this position and they're trying to run stretch or something out here, you're in pretty good shape. Even if you don't make the tackle, you make him have to trouble or something.
It's taking him long to run sideways, and they got pursuit coming.
Yeah, and that's the thing you got to preach, or that I would preach to your guys all the time is, it's not, you're striving every time to get off the ball and disrupt and to make a play, but when you change the outcome of the play just like that, and you're preaching team ball and the linebacker runs and makes that play, then that's a win.
Absolutely.
You won that rep. So I always talk to them about just ball disruption. So if it was a pass and I was able to get some pressure and get the quarterback just to take an extra step or throw off his back foot a little bit, I changed the outcome of the play, you know? Because I always told him, you would think about, if you play 10 games in a season and you got 20 opportunities to rush the quarterback and you only got home twice, that's 2 sacks a game, that's 20 in a season. You're all county, all league, all everything, and that was most of the time you didn't get home, you know? So it's a matter of just rep by rep trying to change the outcome of the play and disrupting it as much as you can.